Good evening, everyone. This is your president slash custodian to TARRL, Mr. Vaibhav VK Naik. Today, we are going to take Morse Code session 3 for all of you who are here and those who are interested in learning Morse Code. This session is brought to you by the Turunadu Amateur Radio Relay League, the admin team, as well as Miss Neil Bruce, VO3 Eco Foxtrot Zulu, who is our legal advisor to TARRL, and myself, VO3 ZNN, the president slash custodian to TARRL. So let's get started with this today's class by the test piece, and then we will get slowly towards the next alphabets, which will be told by the Neil Bruce. And I hope that you will find this class as well. And I would request you to forward it to many groups and the ham radio community so that they can get these free and open source classes and they can learn very easily. And it will be helpful for us also for the growth of the channel and the growth of the club. Thank you.
Good evening, Vaibhav, and good evening, everyone. I will start with playing the test piece once again so that we remember what the previous test piece was. This is test piece number 1. So that was test piece number 1. I'll now be reading the
Okay,
answer to that.
Roger.
I'll be reading the answer to that in phonetic alphabet so it's easily understood and not confused. So the first
But
group,
Neil,
yes,
just a moment. If you read in phonetic alphabet, some of the new preparation, the new people that are preparing for amateur radio may get difficulties.
I'll read both the thing. I'll read it twice, once in
Okay,
phonetics, once normally, so that everyone can understand.
okay, great, great.
So the first group starts like this: Alpha Uniform Victor 4 Alpha. Then
Okay,
Alpha Uniform Victor 4 Alpha. Then Alpha Uniform Victor 4 Alpha. Then Alpha Uniform Victor 4 Alpha. Then Uniform Victor 4 Alpha Uniform. Then Uniform Victor 4 Alpha Uniform. Once again, Uniform Victor 4 Alpha Uniform. Once again, Uniform Victor 4 Alpha Uniform. The next group is Victor 4 Alpha Uniform Victor. 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 4 Alpha Uniform Victor 4. 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 So basically I have sent each group 4 times in the test piece. The first group was
okay,
Alpha Uniform Victor 4 Alpha, that is AUV4A. Immediately
okay,
after the first 4 groups, the fifth group is Uniform Victor 4 Alpha Uniform, which is UV4AU, which is also sent 4 times. After that, we have V4AUV, that's Victor 4 Alpha Uniform Victor. Then, after that, the next group, the last group, is 4 Alpha Uniform Victor 4. That's 4AUV4. So, just before we move ahead to the next new
okay,
characters, I'll just remind everyone of the old characters that we practiced yesterday. That is
okay,
starting with alpha A.
okay,
That is dida A. We
okay.
don't say dit and da, we say d and da. That's di hyphen dah, dida. So next
Great.
character that we learned yesterday was u.
Okay,
That was u. D da. Da. The next character we are going on to is V. V for Victor. So that was V. Da. Da. Now we come on to the number 4. That was number 4.
okay,
Da.
okay,
Da. So now we come on to the latest characters that we are learning today. That is
okay,
NDB6. November Delta
okay,
Bravo 6. Please
okay,
listen to the audio file carefully.
okay.
What you heard just now was N, November, da dit. It's exact opposite of A. In A we do dida, in N we do da dit. We are doing dit because it is a finality of the character. So basically, I'll tell something after the next character is played. The next character is D, D for delta. That is da, di, dit. So what you heard just now was D, da, did it, da, di, dit, da, di, dit. In this, the second dot is the finality of the character. So it is dit. The one in between is continuous because it's going on continuously. So that is da, did it. Now we'll go on to the next character, that is B, B for Bravo. I am starting the audio again. So what you heard just now was da, di, dit, da, di, dit. That is B, B for Bravo. Now we go on to the next character, that is number 6. That sounds like da, di, dit, da, di, dit. What you heard just now was number 6, that is da, di, dit, da, di, dit, da, di, dit. Now I am coming on to the group. The group of NDB6. So that was the group of NDB6. So I'll just generally say this. There is a noisy environment whenever you learn. It is recommended when learning you stay in a quiet environment, use earphones and all. But it is good if you put a small habit of having small disruptions or interruption in between, because during the exam also there might be small noises that irritate you, or when you're on the air or practically on the radio, that time also you might have the similar problems. So because of that, small disturbance is okay, but you need to see that it doesn't cover the original audio that is coming to you. The original audio should be clear to you. The background noise can be noise, which doesn't cover the original audio. So now I will move on to the test piece for tonight. The answer to this test piece will be given tomorrow itself. Tomorrow in the tomorrow's meeting in the start. So before I start the test piece, just an information, if you have any doubt, any questions, you can post it on the WhatsApp group if you're part of the WhatsApp group, or you can comment it on the YouTube channel in the comment section, so that any answers that you need or any questions you have regarding this, they can be answered easily. And you can also tell any issues that you're facing in learning Morse code, so that an individualized plan can be done for you. Because there are many techniques of learning, many people choose to learn sending first and then receiving, but that would be a bad technique, just for the reason that you might get bad habits when sending the code. So instead you learn receiving first. As soon as you learn receiving, you just need to know how your hand moves with the Morse key, because then it is automatic, the sending. But otherwise, when you learn sending first, you're creating a muscle memory which is registered with the brain, which will then disrupt the learning of the code. And we should not treat this as Morse code. We should treat this as a language. Morse as a language and CW as the name of the language. So I'll now onwards continue calling this as CW. And just for information, what we were doing at the beginning, where I was saying Alpha Uniform Victor 4, those are the international phonetic codes that we use in ham radio. That's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. Like, let me just say each and every word that's there. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, India, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango. The character U is used as uniform as well as united. So it is synonymously used. You can use either uniform or united. Then we use V for Victor, but the European side they use Victoria as well. So you can say V for Victor or Victoria. Then we come to W, whiskey, X for X-ray, Y for Yankee, Z for Zulu. So Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, India, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Whiskey, X-ray, Yankee, Zulu. So these are the phonetic alphabets, the international phonetic alphabets, which I use and which I'll continue using in the forward lessons when I'm reading out the test piece back to you. So now that I have finished with this additional instruction, I'll now start with the test piece for tonight. Before I start the test piece, Vaibhav wants to say something. Come on up.
Yeah, you basically said in a orderly manner, or you basically said it in a disruptive order. Basically, you said Alpha, then Bravo, then direct India.
No, I said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I,
You
J,
have
K,
missed out.
L, M, N, O, P, W,
Okay.
X, Y.
No, but I think some audio has been broken. I heard like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, India. They like that continuation.
Yeah, then that would be an internet disruption. But good thing this is being
Okay.
recorded on device. So because of that, I can
Okay.
check it again and see if it's correct, which it should usually be
Okay.
because it's recorded on device.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, you can continue.
Okay, back to mute
Yeah.
then. So now we start with the test piece 2. This is your test practice piece. So today's test piece is short, but includes all the characters that we have gone over till now. That's AUV4 NDB6, Alpha Uniform Victor 4, November Delta Bravo number 6. So with this we are done with today's session. I'll replay the test piece tomorrow and give the answer to that. Back to you, Vaibhav.
Uh, so thanks a lot, everyone, for joining the session. Hopefully that this session helps to you. And if you have any doubts or queries, as Neil said, you can either put it in a comment section or you can put it in a WhatsApp group. And if you want to discuss something more, and if you are not comfortable in a public setting, you can approach me or Neil via our personal GSM number if you are in the group. Or if you are not in the group, you can basically email us at tarrl@gmail.com. Basically, we are also turning on our own email IDs. Basically, we are creating an organizational email ID. However, our website, we have already purchased the domain, but the thing is, our website is not hosted yet. So after hosting, we will get our own organizational ID. So at that time, you can post the query there also. So that email ID is managed by three people: me, and the treasurer has Gopal Krishna Prabhu and Neil Bruce. So we three can basically reply to you. And if there is any suggestions, or if there is any suggestion that you have to give, you can also give that also. It will be very helpful for us in improving the class. And that's it. So thanks to Neil Bruce for taking this initiative and taking CW classes. And also for your information, from next week, I think next week or as soon as the CW finishes, I will start the classes for restricted grade and general grade. where I will cover the electronics part. I, Gopal, and Jeevan Matthew, we three will cover the electronics part, and Neil Bruce will cover the law, rules and regulation part. So other than that, I don't have anything to talk. Now the Neil might give you some information and insights. So I will basically on the standby mode now.
So basically, CW classes are going to run longer, but all the basic introduction of all the characters will be done within a week, or say in we have finished right now two proper classes of listening to code. So basically, we'll need more. Uh, let's see over here, my fingers. We'll need more 6 days to complete all the characters, to understand all the characters, and then we'll be switching over to the CW ops method, where we'll be learning to send as well as receive at the same time. So before that, I will share a video of how you should hold a key. If you have a paddle key or you have a straight key, I'll make a video and share it of how you should be holding the key and how you should be using the key, so that it becomes easier when you're learning sending. So that is instruction number one, and I'll be covering the rules and regulations part right now, because we have had a change in law from the Indian Wireless Telegraph Act. We have come to the Telecommunication Bill of 2020. It's not a bill anymore, a Telecommunication Act of 2023. So because of that, we'll be covering both the parts, because we do not know if there's questions going to come from the new act as well. So we'll be covering both the old act and the new act, as well as the radio etiquettes, because rules and regulations are not just to say what you should do and what you shouldn't do, but it also says how to do, what to do, when to do, where to do, where not to do. So it tells you, basically it's like a instruction manual on how to start your car, or how to switch on your TV, or how to set up your laptop. So rules and regulations can be taken as an installation guide, and electronics portion as the guide to understand how the whole radio works. So the electronics portion will be covered by Vaibhav and his colleagues, and I'll be covering the rules and regulations and the CW part. So this first week we have videos, but after that it will mainly be audio recordings, where we will be sharing the audio portion only, because that time we do not need video, the two everyday video parts. So over there we'll be doing bi-weekly, meaning twice a week or thrice a week or once a week, a video recording to say how the progress is going on for everyone. So that way we can understand any problems and anything, and we'll improvise based on that. So I think with this we end the session. Vaibhav, do you want to end the session?
Yeah. Okay then. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining this session again. And yeah, we will try our best to basically provide the educational material as well as all the information that is required for you to basically get passed to the examination and also to get on air. So basically, TARRL, Tournament Amateur Radio Relay League, is unlike any club. We normally aim people to bring on air, not only just get them licensed. We usually try our best to give them technical support as well as educational support, so that they just not be any licensed amateur radio operator, but they will come on air. See, nowadays, most of the people I have seen, they write examination and thereafter they will basically throw their licenses, and they don't come on air. But we don't want to do such. We want to train the people so that they can come on air rather than getting discouraged. So that is our main aim and ambition. So other than that, I don't have much to tell. And thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. 73s, we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.
7-3 VU3FZ signing off.
Yeah.